Inhale deeply and let the breath enter your stomach. Relax, relax. When nothing exists in this universe, sound was there. That sound is not produced by, it is at the sound of one hand clap. all the mystics have said that life exists, or all the existence, the expansion of existence has come from sound. So, when nothing exists in this universe, sound was. That kind of sound which is without any friction. One hand clap. Okay. So, this is a common statement by all the mystics. So, we are entering into the very mysterious realm, and the person who is living authentically, sincerely in his or her life, he start observing as he grows up that the situations, circumstances, all the happenings, events are not in our control. To some extent, because our parents, our teachers, our guardians, they guide us, they give us the reasons. Okay, this has happened because of this is happening because of this. So we analyze, we start calculating mathematically. Okay, this is the reason, this is the reason, that may be the reason. But anybody who is connected with his inner self, he, over the period of time, he realizes that things are in a very unpredictable manner happening around us, in a very unpredictable manner, and we are not, and everything is not in our control or in nobody's control. That is the result of living. A curiosity arises in the minds of those people who are living very sincerely, connecting with, not influenced by other people, not influenced by any society, any religion, any custom, or any ideology, that something mysterious we are in, living a life. Things are happening on its own accord. It looks very absurd statement, but this is a fact. This whole existence, nobody is running. All are in such a planned manner, The stars and planets do not collide each other. They are such in a planned manner, but nobody is behind. There is no God in a physical form, in the form of a person, but who is just running. This concept has been taught to us by our teachers, by our missionaries, by our priests, and through books and all that. So we start thinking that way. Astrology is a science which teaches us the way existence is moving since the time of beginning. The way, similar to that, we come on this planet Earth with certain kind of screenshot of our life. The mystics, maybe of India or any other country, throughout, I'm talking about all mystics of the world, they have evolved this science not by working hard, but through their sadhana, their meditations. This science has been evolved, happened. So, by the grace of existence, there's nobody who's showering the grace, but the existence grace. So this science happened. Many things happen in our life, many things. These all, you yourself have experienced that sometime we start discovering certain things, inventing certain things, and oh my God, we have invented, we have discovered. We try to connect our ego with that new thing. which we have discovered, invented. But no, it happened through our nothingness. It simply pops up, sprouted, and we become the medium. Similarly, astrology is such a supernatural and a beautiful science that happened through sadhus or mystics or saints over the period of time. They have developed the science in this form. The moment we come out of mother's womb, there is a screenshot of our life. We calculate the time of birth, year of birth, place of birth, all the things, the data we collect. In the olden time, there was no software. So they used to make a note of the sunrise. The sun is rising at this time. This star is rising at this time. They keep the very minute observation, and on that basis they do calculations. But nowadays softwares are available, many softwares. So we put the time, date, year, place, everything, and suddenly the horoscope pops up. And everybody has their individual horoscope. That is their screenshot. And we live, we move, we think, all the things happening around us, with us, is based on that screenshot. We fixed. As the lessons would be, I would be teaching the things, I would prove that how that we are, everything is fixed in our life. To live in a certain pattern, it's fixed. We have to, everybody, I have my own pattern, you have your own pattern, everybody has their own pattern. And everybody, as on the basis of their pattern, will live. Mindset, body, everybody's the individual patterns. So this is the screenshot. So nowadays we have a software, we put the time and everything. So this kind of, and just draw the rectangle box. Okay, and just anywhere, somewhere in the middle, this thing. So this rectangle, somewhere in the middle, you put the mark and join these lines. Okay. Then we join the vertices. Clear? Everybody, yes, yes. Yeah. So this is the foundation of astrology. Here we would be starting.
So you first do this too?
Yes. So I would be explaining the concepts starting and from this part. This is the beginning part. Okay. So this is a screenshot, and I'm not talking about anybody's a particular individual's screenshot. I'm going to talk about in general first. then I would be going D. Okay, so these are these squares and these boxes, these are houses. Now we will start with the first house. Now we will move to anti-clockwise. That is the second house. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, and then 12th. These are 12 houses. Our life revolves from this house to house number 12. I would be going deep into that. Okay, done with this. So you need to memorize the houses. These are the boxes. We would be going anti-clockwise. This is this where I have written number 1. This is going to be the fixed house number 1. Whether I write number 1 or I do not write number 1. If I ask you, where is the house number 1? You just pinpoint this. This is house number 7. Whether I write this number or not, this is going to be remain house number 7. Okay? Now, when we are out of mother's womb, you know, what part of our personality is visible? Our physical, our forehead, our self in totality. There is no any eyes or legs or arms. In totality, we are visible. The complete personality, that physical one. So the house number 1 signifies, tells us about our personality. This is about our body. House number 1. You simply write as briefly your notes, because you can listen, you can watch again. Okay, so the house number 1 is our physical structure, our characterization, our whole being, whether we are slim, whether we are thin, whether we are fatty, fair complexion, wheatish complexion, dark complexion, kind of hair we are going to have, everything is seen through first house.
But it's only physical?
Yes, more of a physical, it's total personality. Here I am not dividing in other parts. Here in totality I am talking about your characterization. By simply understanding the first house, you will come to know about the personality. Okay, you in our day-to-day life we come across very muscular people, you know, very strong muscular people. It means their first house is very strong. There may be something related to the first house that they are that kind of people. Some are very thin, very weak. Weak personality is very weak, very fragile. So it is connected to the first house. Our overall sketch is seen through first house. Because when a child comes out of mother's womb, that is the primary part which is visible, right? The whole, okay, is very slim or is going to be very fatty. My God, we see the child in totality. So by understanding the first house, we understand the character sketch of anybody, personality of anybody, right? The complete features are signified, are explained through first house. Clear?
And how would you explain a weak or a strong first house?
We'll be going deep into that, but let's first start that the first house signifies this person may be weak or strong or tall or thin. Everything is described through first house. When I would be going deep, I would be explaining how. Okay, first of all, I'm just pinpointing or just telling you this is the person. Anybody is, we see anybody around 500 meters away, we see, oh, that person is tall. The more he comes closer, no, he's fair also, he's having beard also. So I would be going deep. The first house, the child comes out. Now when the child comes out, what is the first thing he or she does? Scream, right? Scream. Voice is produced. If there's no voice, the doctors are worried. Oh, because the breath has not started. When he started crying, only then the respiratory system becomes active. That is a very important. It's very important for a child to cry when he comes out of a mother womb, because only by crying his respiratory, his diaphragm is active. And we are, okay, now child is alive. If he's not crying, we just, doctor shake, just put something, pat on the back. So the second house is our voice. This is a second house. Through second house, we come to know about our vocal cord, our respiratory system. Respiratory system, our diaphragm. By just understanding the second house, we come to know that his voice is shrill or very bass, big voice, only by seeing the second house. And when he started crying, screaming, or when he's out of the womb, after the physical appearance, what part of the body is primarily visible of the child? What part of the body we see the first? Face. We see the face. That attracts the first. So second house is our face. Face is seen through second house. And when the child is born, we are gathered by all our family members. Mother, father, grandfather, grandmother, all cousins, everybody is gathered around that child. Okay. So second house also denotes our family lineage, where we are going to be raised and brought up. Second house. And this is a tradition in India. When the child is born, they make that child taste honey. This is a tradition in India. which is for the best wish throughout the life. So a kind of goodwill, good wishes. See, make that child taste a honey, little bit, or any kind of sugar, sweet. And it is been said that whoever make that child taste honey or any sweet, that person has a lasting impression on that child throughout their life. Because he see or she sees that person, that image of the personality is just imprinted on his or her life, and it has, throughout life it has an impact. But because of that taste, so it means the second house also denotes our taste. Our eating habit. The very first day, I would be giving you certain symbols, some clues. You come across many people, your friends and all, everybody. So you see, there are few people, they eat anything. They are not bothered about the taste. And there are few people, they are very much bothered about the taste. And salt is good. Okay, there's less salt, less sweet, put more sugar. So it means if they are very much bothered about the taste, it means their second house is quite strong. Because second house is about taste. And very beautiful face. Second house. If you come across a person who has a beautiful glowing face, so it means the second house of this person is very strong, very attractive. Some very good planets are occupied in the second house. Very positive planets. And the voice I have told you, very soothing voice, beautiful voice. You feel like, oh, one more song, please, one more. A kind of singers, they have a melodious voice. So only by seeing the second house, we can make out that this person has a very melodious voice, so his second house must be strong. And ugly looking people, and the definition of beautiful and ugly is not that the feature should be pointed. The aura of their face is beautiful. There may be people who are very fair, but the aura of their face is ugly. So it means the second house is not strong, is weak or negative. When the child starts screaming and he is gathered by all the family members, they start chit-chatting, talking. Oh my God, oh baby, oh, various kind of sounds, and child couldn't understand what is happening around him. Is just one hour baby or 1 day baby. All family members are gathered, they're talking, they want to speak to the child. So various kind of energies, various kind of people are gathered around that child. So everything start going in the system. Someday, whatever is going inside the system, he would able to use that. But in the beginning, everything is going in his system. So the second house is the house which we value the most. Our savings. Savings could be the bank balance or cash in hand or the things which we value the most. So how many things are categorized in second house? Our face, our taste, our vocal cord, respiratory system, family lineage, and the last, which have
Storage for the future.
yes, values. The thing which we values or our saving, our bank balance. If you come across a buddy who is always bankrupt, no money, always asking for money, so it means the second house is weak. Because second house is a house of savings also. Now, what happened to that child? He has gathered a lot kinds of weird sounds. All family members are speaking, okay, and is going inside the system, and the child is growing up, right? And he starts speaking blah blah blah, mom, 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 papa, papa, little bit of words, not sentences, words. He started communicating, mom, mom, in the language which he has been hearing. Yes? So the third house is a house of communication. He started communicating. Started communicating. With whom? Brothers and sisters. So the third house is also the house of brothers and sisters or siblings. When a child started communicating, it means whatever the things which he has gone inside his system in the second house, he is using that to communicate with their family members or anybody nearby. So he is a kind of using his dare, his daring. So third house is a house of daring. How much risk-taking factor we have in our life is seen through third house. And along with the communication, he also is trying to get up. Child is trying to get up and just wobble or is trying to walk, but not very far. 3-4 steps and sit down. Third house, the house of short distance travel. Short distance travel. So, by observing in our life how daring we are, okay, how much we are capable of taking risk in our life, that signifies the strength of third house. If we are coward, let's remain in a secure atmosphere. Don't go outside. Don't take much risk. So third house is weak. There are few people, they're very daring, they're ready to take any kind of risk. So the third house is strong. And the relation between brothers and sisters, a very close relation. And the brother and sister, they are ready to do anything for you. So that is strong. Third house. Third house is your siblings. And your communication, how well you are in communication. How well you communicate with others. Third house. You understand? Finding interesting? The child is growing up. And we are also going up. So when the child has started communicating and little bit of is started walking, what is the first thing mother will do? Kindergarten, primary school. So we'll move to the fourth house, our primary school. So when the child started going to a primary school or a nursery school, who is the main person who he or she is interacting most of the time? No, at home. Mother. Right? Yes, please. You can. Yes. Yeah.
Primary school is kindergarten?
Yeah, primary school.
Before?
You can say a primary school. Yeah.
Like the first education.
Yes. Friends, first, second standard is the early part of primary school. So, so when the child started going to school, fourth house is a primary education, you can see. So everything comes into it. When the child started going to school, who is the main person? Who is the main caretaker of that child? Mother. So fourth house is the house of mother. So how weak or strong your mother is, by simply seeing the fourth house, you can yourself analyze. My mother is very strong. My mother is very weak. She frightened. She want to be in a confined and secure atmosphere every time. Okay. And what does mother have? Mother is full of feelings, emotions, sentiments. So the fourth house is the house of feelings, our emotions, our sentiments. Fourth house is the house of our dwelling place, where we are staying. Where we are staying, our home. So we are growing up little bit, and this child is started riding on a bicycle. He's grown. So the fourth house is also connected to our vehicle. Our vehicle, bicycle, scooter, our vehicle, yes? So by simply, fourth house I have told is a house of dwelling place where we are staying. Now you analyze your house. If your house in a very distorted condition, not well kept, untidy, dirty, so means the fourth house in your horoscope is weak. If your house where you are staying, even right now here, if it is well kept, you are making it neat and clean, there's no nest or you are making it beautiful, so your fourth house is strong. And see your vehicle. Are you regularly cleaning your vehicle or once a month? Just not much bothered about your vehicle. So there is some problem related to your fourth house. And this is very clearly visible. Each and everything which I am telling you, it is so much scientific. And it is based on my personal experience I am telling you. Fourth house, house of mother, house of your, how much you are having a control on your feelings, on your emotions. Are you getting carried away with your feelings, with your emotions, with your sentiments? Fourth house is weak. So, in a way, if you want to make your fourth house strong, what you have to do? Take care of your vehicle. Regularly go to the service station. Make your house neat and clean. Maintain a good relation with your mother to make your fourth house strong. And balance your emotions, your feelings, your sentiments. A child is growing further, right? So he started going to college or high school, right? House number 5. What he would be doing? He would be making friends. So house number 5 is the house of relationship. He would be making many friends. And all grown-up friends. And because he is growing, right? So he would be given some important task by the teachers or by the professors. Okay, you have a project. You have to do something in the laboratory. If you have taken sciences, some projects have been assigned to him. So he entered into the field of creativity. So fifth house is the house of creativity. If you are very creative or fond of creativity, it means your fifth house is strong. Your friends, your relationship, how well you are with your friends, your relations, seen through fifth house. Now, when we grow up, there are many kind of creativity. Even we are giving birth to a child. That is also a form of creativity. It is happening through us. So the fifth house is a house of children. In particular, your first child. And something very important, fifth house is connected to your stock market. You invest in share business, share market. So by how you are successful, how much you are successful in share market is seen through your fifth house. I'm giving you those kind of lessons, those kind of principles that you yourself can analyze a lot, because this is whole life, you know. And I started with your first house. First house is your body, right? Yourself. So the fifth house is a house of stock market. Now enough of friends we have made, many friends in the fifth house, right? First child, and a lot of creativity. Now what happens when we have 20, 30 friends? Few of friends are jealous. They do a kind of backbiting. They are envious. They become enemy, but not a visible enemy, hidden enemy. You know, we couldn't make out that among our 20 friends, one is not very close, because we cannot make out what is there in the mind of anybody, right? So the sixth house is the house of enemies. Hidden enemies or visible enemies. Yeah, sixth house is about of both kind of enemy, hidden enemies or visible enemies. And you know, when we make many friends in the fifth house, there are many problems also comes into existence. Many problems, because there could be a physical fight with your friends, right? And when you are going out, you're freaking out with your friends, so you happen to eat all kind of stuff. So because of fifth house, there could be some physical issues, mental issues, because somebody are very close, somebody get annoyed, just out of friendship you eat everything. So sixth house is the house of diseases, physical problem, mental problem. By simply observing the sixth house, by simply observing the sixth house, we could make out how resistant, how stronger we are to fight against enemies or against our physical problem or mental problem. If we surrender, let that problem go on its own, then we are not very strong in sixth house. So whenever we have to see our life issues, life problems, we go deep into the sixth house. Okay, now we have lived with all the issues, problems, we have n number of friends, and what we have experienced, that 20 friends, few become enemies, they create many problems in our life, and we have been suffering and all that. Now let's choose one friend, so we get married. We choose one friends instead of 20 friends. Okay, that is one of the best. So we either we start go in a living relationship, or we get married. So the house number 7 is the house of marriage. Our living relationship or our partner, house of our partner. And partner could be a business partner also. By observing our life based on our relationship, close relationship, that intimate relationship with our living relationship or a husband-wife relationship, we could analyze how good or bad is our seventh house. So after marriage, we are reborn. We are not living the life which we have been living before seventh house. A very different kind of life comes into existence. Now we have another partner. We have a very close partner. We have to live on the basis of his likes and dislikes. Sometimes he adjusts, sometimes we adjust. So when we started living with a partner or after marriage, totally the life would be changed, a new life. So we enter into a house number eighth. So eighth is a house of rebirth. Eighth house is a very complicated house, you know. It's a very complicated house because after marriage, the complication comes into existence. Eighth house is a house of darkness, unknown realm of life, mysterious aspects of life. You know, before marriage, we were not aware about our partner much. We have a very different kind of perceptions in our mind. Okay, sometimes partner is okay, but we have to live life. We have to marry. Well, I will choose this one. But before marriage, sometimes we have a very average perception of a partner. But then, when we started living, oh my God, he has a different features, characteristics, multi-talented. So the treasure of our partner is seen in eighth house. So eighth house is a house of your partner's treasure. Or you can say the saving of your partners. Or the things which your partner values the most. Sometimes vice versa happens. We are so much glamorized by some personality. Oh my God, if this fellow comes in my life would be like heaven. And if it happens sometime, right? Sometimes it happens, our dreams does come true. We observe in few months and few years, oh my God, this fellow is a pauper. What I have been observing, what I have been seeing is exactly opposite to that. So that comes, that is why eighth house is the house of darkness. Unless and until we get married or we start living with our partner, we did not come to know what treasure he or she has. The hidden, that is hidden. when you started living under one roof, then you come to know about the real image, the real picture of your partner. Sometimes the fascinating images just goes away. Sometimes very average image becomes very fascinating. There are few cases where when we are not much love with our partner before marriage, but after marriage, when you both started living under one roof, you fell in love madly. So both, and there are cases when we are madly in love before marriage, and after marriage, not even 6 months, divorce happens. So that is why eighth house is a house of darkness. Suddenly things pops up. Eighth house is a house of accidents. Eighth house is a house of death. Or suddenly things which are happening. If you are frightened by sudden news, sudden things happening, my God, what will happen now? If you have that kind of mindset, I'm not ready for the surprises, please. And your eighth house is weak. That is why eighth house is also the house of physical intimacy, but it has to be in secrets. Physical intimacy,
What is secret?
the house of the sex life, eighth house. By simply going deep into your eighth house, we can make out how good you are with your partner, how partner can be with you after marriage. When I give consultation, in India particularly, there are some cases when a girl fell in love with a boy. "Oh, I want to marry. Oh, I want to," and they show me their chart, and I bluntly tell them, see, the boy is looking very fascinating, very glowing before marriage. But her eighth house, you would be in trouble in 3 months only, because his eighth house is not strong. So how you will be ending up in divorce. So beware. By simply observing the eighth house, so all kind of sudden happening in our life, tantra, magic, ghost is seen through eighth house. All kind of tantra practices seen through eighth house. Eighth house, just like your spouse money, it is the money of other person also. Other person with whom you are doing business. For example, if any businessman comes with me, ask for consultation, I'm sorry, I observe the eighth house. Is he or she is capable of getting money from others? If anybody has strong eighth house, only then he is capable of getting money from other people, because 8th house is the money of other person. 7th house is other person, just like spouse. For example, for me, he is 7th house. Right now, you people are 7th house, with whom we are interacting, we're talking, who is sitting exactly opposite. That is the second, 7th house. So anybody who wants to go into the business, his 7th and 8th house should be very strong. One of my friend has very weak 2nd house, but very strong 8th house. You know what is happening here? 2nd house of savings. Very less balance. But I said, don't worry. Your 8th house is strong. You are in a position to get money, but don't go for the saving. You are in a position, you have a strong position to get money from others, but don't invest in savings. Let that money remain in the market. When it is required, you can get money because your 8th house is strong. Are you getting what I'm saying? In spite of weak 2nd house, his 8th house. 8th house, other person money. He is strong in 8th house. So after living all the 8th house, a house of depression, frustration, gloominess. So when we have lived the 8th house with all kind of depression, frustration, accidents, death-like experiences, we are reborn again. And we become, for the first time, religious, spiritual. Because we are no more the old guy, before 8th house. So the 9th house we will enter. 9th house is the house of religion, is the temple of our horoscope. 9th house. It's a temple. It's the religion, spiritualism of our life. Because now we can enter into that. So 9th house is also the house of long distance travel. Sometime we are fed up with our country, with our countrymen, with our business. Now let's go to India, Haridwar, Rishikesh, and do chanting. 9th house, long distance travel. Because this happens only after leaving 8th house of frustration, depression. We are fed up with our old life. We want to go very far from our country. We want to live like a sadhu, like a saint, like a celibate. That happens only after 8th house. So 9th house is the house of temple, religion, long distance travel, higher philosophy, higher education. 9th house is the house of our gurus, our spiritual teachers. That idealism of our life, now I will be getting up early in the morning. I will get up early in the morning and go to bed early. I will live a very idealistic life. So the 9th house, I will pray, I will go to church regularly. I will not drink. I will stop drinking. I'll be a vegetarian. No more non-vegetarian. All that positivity is happening in ninth house. Clear? Now we are growing. Now we have certain ideology in ninth house, certain ideology. I would be living the life this way, not the way I was living. Oh, this is my ideology. I have learned a lot from my gurus, my teachers, spiritual religion. Now I'm a newborn baby. So, but to earn money, I have to do something. So I would be doing work, business, job. 10th house. 10th house, the house of work, house of worship. When we say saying work is worship, our business. 10th house is the outside world. Tenth house, the house of our bosses. He would be working under some people if you are into jobs or some contract. Tenth house is also a very complicated house because this is the house of business. And in the field of business, there is no rules and regulations. There is no rules and regulation. You've come across, for example, if you're selling certain thing, any article, you're selling it for 100 rupees, you'll come across somebody who's selling it for 150 rupees. And there may be in 80 rupees. So you have to choose your price, which suits you. So 10th house is a house of politics. We say the fittest, the survival. That policy, that philosophy has to be applied in 10th house. The fittest, the survival. The survival.
Survival of the fittest.
Yes. The survival, the fittest. Vice versa. Both way you can say. So it's a very difficult house. Because the idealism which we have learned in it, ninth house, that will not work in 10th house, no. Your saint, your idealistic approach, all crooks, all clever people, all selfish people, they are ruling the 10th house. So you have to be like them. If you have to gain in business, you have to grow the ladder in your job culture. Right? So 10th house, house of work. We are work. We are working 18 hours, 16 hours, 20 hours, depending upon our capacity. 10th house, we are working. Now, if we have a 10th house of bosses, the relation with the boss. Now, what is our demand? For example, if we have worked 15 hours for 5 days, what is our demand? We want money. You want money. You want our wishes to be fulfilled. So let's move to 11th house. This is the house of earnings. Eleventh house is the house of our wishes, our desires, our goals, our ambitions. our liquid cash, our business networking, all our desire and wishes are seen through 11th house. If you are capable of fulfilling or completing your wishes and desire, it means your 11th house is strong. If you are not able to fulfill your wishes and desire, it means your 11th house is weak. Now, what happens when all your wishes are fulfilled, desires are fulfilled, you have earned a lot of money in your life? What happened then? You live a retired life. Now enough. I don't want to work more. I have enough savings, enough money. I can spend my whole life. Right? So the 12th house is the house of relaxation. Twelfth house, we want to relax. It's a house of relaxation. We don't want to do anything. Enough of earning we have done in 11th house. Now I want to live life. So it's a house of enjoyment, celebration. Celebration, enjoyment. And sometimes if you have earned a lot, you want to donate. So house of donation. And based on our savings and earnings, we want to spend. So 12th house is a house of expenditure. How much we are strong in spending money. How often we donate. 12th house, there are few people, throughout the life, they are living, working, and they are spending their whole life in a crowd. Now, they want to live in a aloof, cut out from the crowd. So the 12th house, a house of seclusion. That is why this house is called the house of moksha, enlightenment. Why the house of moksha and enlightenment? Because one who has lived 11th house, on the experience of 11th house, he or she realizes that whatever we do in our life, all the wishes are not going to be fulfilled. Few wishes will remain unfulfilled. So we need to be mature enough to go ahead. From the house number 1 till house number 11, we have lived life. And house number 11, we have tried to fulfill our wishes, our desire, our goals, our ambitions. So, in the house number 11, the real maturity comes. Not to all, to selective people. So, one who has realized, even if all the wishes are fulfilled, nothing will happen. Because, for example, I have 100 wishes and 5 are fulfilled. Any change happens in my life? I'm the same old cranky fellow. Even if 100 wishes are full, I would be the same person. So what is the use of running like in a rat race to fulfill all my wishes? That kind of maturity comes in 11th house. And for those people, they enter into the house number 12 of moksha. And from there, they will not come again in this physical form of first house. They are, with the realization, with the maturity, you know, yesterday I was telling that in the flag, Indian flag, they have a circle in the second box. Circle is a wheel. It's a wheel shape, right? It means sansar. Sansar means this whole 1 to 12 houses. Mystics has said many times, we keep on revolving, coming again and again in this vicious circle or sansar till we are mature. Because at the time of leaving the body, in the time we are breathing our last breath, if we are mature enough, if we are totally satisfied, I have lived in all the dimensions of my life fully. So there is no need of coming back in this physical form. I'm happy with my body. I have no objection. I have no demand from anything. With complete contentment, who leaves this body in house number 12, they will achieve moksha. Otherwise, he will be thrown back in birth. This life, you failed. I'll give you existence, give us another chance. All mystics have said that we are not new in this planet Earth. We are not new. We have been coming many times. If we leave this planet immaturely, again we will come. All kind of schooling, education, friends, marriage, business, everything will be repeated again and again. And again, we will leave. The people like Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, as per my interpretation, there is no God as such. They are ultimate mature people. Rama, Zarathustra, all the mystics of the world, they become a mystique because of their realization of moksha, and they do not come again in any mother's womb. They dissolve in the existence out of maturity. We all on the way, everybody will become a Rama or a Krishna or Jesus or someday based upon our maturity. So all mystics say, live life in totality. If you are fond of drinking or tobacco, don't do it partially. Keep yourself 100% involved when you are smoking so that you could analyze it, the pros and cons of smoking. But if you are drinking and doing 10,000 things, you'll not realize the pros and cons of thinking, right? All mystics, they say, they have a very common terminology. Live life in totality. Only then maturity comes. We move from one country to another, from one place to another, because of dissatisfaction. One who becomes mature, who has lived life in totality, he will not move in a vagabonds, like hippie. He would be satisfied wherever he or she is. So there is an explanation of all the 12 houses.
In this sansar, you say this means the
Wheel.
reincarnation cycle.
Yes, sansar is a wheel. You know, from 1 to 12 houses. If you're not mature, from 12th again we are born again. First house. Again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 12. Again and again. Sansar means the wheel of life. This vicious circle of life. This is the psychology of Hindus or saints. So that is where they have put the emblem in that circle. Nobody understand. Only few people could explain you what I've been explaining you. The purpose of the flag, the circle, to be mature. Don't come again. And it applies to everybody, not all who are living in India. No, it applies to all. So that was the explanation of house number 1 to 12. So this is the basic. You have to be very thorough with the things which I've told you. What house is signified by which things? Because we are going deeper. Okay? We are going deeper. Then you would be confused if you are not thorough with all the 12 houses. So I request you regularly practice and just revise it so that when you come tomorrow, you have that things in your mind, and the thing which additional things which I would be sharing with you, you would find interesting. Otherwise, you would start yawning. It's too much for the brain because you have not practiced. So I request you practice. In just half an hour, you would able to practice it, and it's not very difficult. It's very easy things I have told you. It's very important. I'd be going deep. So I will give you 10 minutes break. There is a kitchen. You can go and order there. Okay? You can black tea or normal tea. Then I will resume the session after that. This is kind of refreshment. Okay? Yes. We enjoy tea here also. So we are thorough with the houses. Now we will start with the planets. Okay. We are aware about the names, but on the basis of Vedic astrology, how it is related to our life, our body, our mind, I would be explaining that. Okay. Let's start with Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of wisdom. Gaining knowledge, spreading knowledge, sharing knowledge. Jupiter is connected with the idealism, positivity, with our gurus, with our teachers. Jupiter is connected with our prana vayu. Prana, you know, there are two things, prana and oxygen. There's some problem with the, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Just excuse me. Get another chair.
आप क्या लाते थे?
Yes. Uh, with our gurus, with our teachers, Jupiter. Jupiter is connected with the expansion. All the scriptures, holy scriptures, Bible, Gita, Ramayana, uh, all the scriptures of the world, Vedas, Upanishads, they all symbolic representation of Jupiter. All priests, all sadhus, they all are representative of Jupiter. All saintly people, you know. Our higher education, institutional qualification is connected with Jupiter. And I was explaining about prana. There are two things. One is oxygen, one is prana. The latest science says we cannot live without oxygen. Right? But the old science, science of sages, rishis, they say we can live without oxygen, but we cannot live without prana. Right? Prana is the carrier and oxygen is on the prana. You know, there are many examples. Somebody has done that, buried himself for few days. I've read somewhere that one sadhu buried himself deep ground, and he comes out. He had written that I would be coming out. For example, this is 2026. I would be coming out in 40 years, 66. I will come out. Many people who was accompanying him died, and some buildings were built at the ground where he has buried himself. But exactly few people were survived, few of our friends. So then he buried himself at that particular portion. So exactly after 40 years, as per his instructions, they just dig the ground, and he comes out. He was alive. His color was pale. He was weak, but he was not dead. 40 years he remained underground. There was no oxygen. He was in a position, he was capable of inhaling prana. That prana is very important. You know, you must have roaming here and there in India throughout all the caves, old caves. They don't have windows. But as per the modern science, all the churches, they are well ventilated. Many windows, so that oxygen come and out and fresh air. But in the old caves or Hindu temples, the older you see the Hindu temple, you'll find that the very deep caves, but there is no window. How come that sadhus do tapasya there and they are surviving and they are good health? They are capable of getting prana. Prana is more important than oxygen. So Jupiter is prana. One who has higher degree or good quality of Jupiter in their horoscope, they need not require much of oxygen. I just give you my example, my spouse example. My spouse, Jupiter is quite strong in comparison to my Jupiter. So when I sleep in a closed room, I feel like opening the window. Let oxygen come and more. But she just closed everything. Let all the windows closed, doors closed, and she's happy with that. I'm surprised that from where the oxygen will come. You're closing all the windows, all the doors, and even you're just putting the blanket on your face, you will die overnight. Because of higher quality of Jupiter in our horoscope, she is capable of getting prana, not oxygen. But I need oxygen and prana, so I am just opening the window. So Jupiter is prana. Jupiter is a positive thought process. All good teachings, all kind of preachings is a symbolic representation of Jupiter.
Can you repeat?
All the symbolic representation of preaching good things, good values, wherever it is happening, that is the symbolic representation of Jupiter. So Jupiter plays a very important role. Jupiter is the growth of our life because it is expansion. One who has a weak Jupiter, sorry, in his or horoscope, that person is more into negative mode. He is pessimist, not optimistic. He is most of the time talking negative. One who has a negative Jupiter in his or horoscope see the negative aspect of life. And one who has positive Jupiter always see the positive aspect of life, brighter side of life. So it is said that to improve Jupiter in your horoscope, you should regularly exercise so that your pores are open up and you could inhale oxygen and prana fully. One who has positive Jupiter, they are a good listener. So all the things which I have told you, they are representative of Jupiter. When I would be explaining certain things, then I would be going deep into that. So this is the Jupiter planet. After Jupiter, let's go to planet Saturn. Saturn is the skill of our talent. Saturn symbolizes hard work. Discipline, punctuality, accountability, commitment. Patience, regularity. All the labor class, anybody who is exerting himself or herself physically, they are the representative of planet Saturn. So, planet Saturn is connected with the two aspects of a life. First, hard work, then our wishes are fulfilled. So, the more you hard work, the earlier your wishes are fulfilled. In a relationship, if you want to know about the planet Saturn, it's is our maternal father. What we say, the brother of father, maternal father, the brother of our father, uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah, uncle. It's not maternal father, no. So it's our uncle. In our relationship, uncle signifies planet Saturn.
That can also be of mother's side.
No, from father's side.
Like, for example, I don't have one. So,
No, then from mother's side, that is a different moon, which I'll go afterwards.
so
Explain.
if someone has no uncle or father's side, like me,
No, a very close friend of your father who is just like your father, but not father.
like
Any
extra father figure.
yes, extra fatherly figure of your father's age,
Yeah.
who consider you as his or her daughter, father. So this is the planet of which many are feared of, because this planet is the most strict planet, very strict planet, but very friendly planet also. The most strict planet and the most friendly planet. Strict in the sense, anybody who is lazy, lethargy, indisciplined, not punctual, Saturn will penalize like anything. Would be penalizing him. Penalizing him, life would be frustration, depression, no success. We are in the grip of planetary energies throughout the day. Yesterday I was explaining that we are in the grip of planetary energies throughout the day. For example, if we are in the grip of Jupiterian energy, we are into that gaining knowledge, preaching, spreading knowledge. Okay, we try to become ourselves a guru. We started feeling as if we are a guru, and to make pacify or make the planet positive, we need to flow with the energy of planet Jupiter. If you want growth in your life, that the growth is not hindered or stopped, you need to follow the energy of Jupiter. How to follow it? You need to exercise daily, sweat daily, and you need to be positive. Your attitude should be optimistic. Whatever happens in your life, your attitude should be optimistic. If you're troubling, you're suffering, then Jupiter will grant you gifts, success. You have to be very positive. I'll give you a live example, 2 days before, about Jupiter. How to make planet Jupiter happy. We were staying, the address written in my website or that Google, it's near Arambol bus stand, right? So last session we have stayed there. It's very disconnected from the mainstream. So my spouse, she was always interested in that nearby sea, All the facilities should be available. So this season we have come, and she has a mind to search some place very close by sea, and all the facilities at the one place only. She has that kind of mindset. But she has a very less budget also, not too much budget. So we were roaming here and there. The charges everybody was asking was too much. We couldn't afford it. I was just moving here and there. She was very positive. I was becoming negative. Oh, the kind of facility she's asking from others, and in this money, nobody will give her. I was talking with myself. She was very positive. Here and 10, 12 places we searched. Then we happened to come this place. So I also find the energy of this place good, and also a little bit positive. She was very positive. She didn't say even a negative, one little negative. And then we talk with the owner. Everything get connected. Our budget, nearby sea. So we started staying here. It's not because of my negativity, because of the positivity of my spouse. She had that kind of positivity that we will definitely find something of our own choice and in our own budget. And she could find it. So, Jupiter. To make Jupiter positive, you have to be positive. Very optimistic thought process. I'm just giving you a live example of mine and my spouse. And she's always positive. Yesterday only we went to certain places. Soham. I was talking about that. She said we will organize certain workshop, and then there. I thought maybe they will not allow, because that place is very exclusive place and a different kind of setup is there. They might not allow. She said, even before meeting, you are saying we will not allow. Let existence decide. You should be positive. And the end result, they allowed. So Jupiter was in her favor. Jupiter. To make your planet Jupiter happy, you have to be positive. I'm giving you the live examples. And we are in the grip of all these energies. If you find that there is no progress in your life is stagnant, Jupiterian energy is playing the role to grow and become more positive. More positive. Everything is happened because existence wants to teach us something. So he is giving us some problems, some obstacles. Someday everything would be okay. That kind of positivity. Jupiter will be granting gifts and all that. Her Jupiter is stronger than mine. So I'm giving you, I observe, as an astrologer, I observe my Jupiter and her Jupiter. What is happening in her life, what is happening in my life, So, Saturn is the most strict planet. Saturn is so much strict that he is in favor of discipline, accountability, punctuality. He said, do hard work. Even if you're not getting success, keep on doing, keep on doing. Even if you're doing hard work in a wrong direction, even then Saturn will give you success. All the people of the world have touched the height during Saturn time period. Obama, during Saturn time period, become president of America. Many people. But only condition is that Saturn, check your patience. Check your patience. There was a time In our life, me and my spouse, she's a Kathak dance exponent. But there was a time for 2 3 years when a very bad phase of a time, I can say it that way. But she keep on practicing herself. She opened the channel, and whatever the treasure she has of that classical dance, she used to go live. She started sharing the treasure of classical dance and the minute details. Only two, channel and herself, no student. That was a phase for 2 3 years. But because of consistent hard work, regular effort, the channel in which she was going live became one of the most practical channel of Qatar globally because of her hard work. Only two people. One is their channel, and for 1 hour she used to practice. She herself used to practice and keep on sharing the minute details. Okay, this is the footwork, that is the footwork. Even the big gurus, which they don't share the secrets of classical dance, she has been sharing it openly. And because of that hard work, she is earning. So Saturn sees only hard work and your patience and your consistency, your regularity. Saturn, to achieve success, Saturn is required. Let's go to the third planet, Mercury. All the maids and servants, they are symbolic representation of Saturn. To check if your Saturn is good in your horoscope, how well you are with your maids, your servants. If you always have a trouble with your servants, your maids, your Saturn is not good. If you have a very good relation with your maids, your servants, Saturn is good. Mercury planet. As I've said yesterday, Mercury is a planet of nerves. Our nerves. Our body is standing on nerves, not on bones. Our whole body is accumulation, the collection of nerves. Mercury is a planet of intellect, thought process, analyzing, calculation, all kinds of business, all kind of planning, all kind of communication is seen through Mercury. Thought process, our nervous system is Mercury. Our nervous system is Mercury. Mercury is the main hero and the main villain of our horoscope. Because whatever happens in our life, first we think, we analyze, we speak. If we do not analyze, if we do not think properly, we speak bad, and the result would be bad. One who has bad Mercury in their horoscope, they have no control in their communication. They sometimes speak ill. So all kind of business, jobs, any kind of thing which gives us profit in any form, that is connected to Mercury. Any kind of thing which is connected to thought process, analyzing, planning, calculation, it is connected to Mercury. If you have weak Mercury in your horoscope, it means uh, the nerves of your body is weak. The nervous system is weak. You are not able to communicate properly what you have in your mind. See, there are a few things. For example, strong Mercury but negative. Strong Mercury. They have very strong communication. But when they communicate, they put force on others and they pressurize on others. With their communication, they try to convince others logically or illogically. And we are a bit on the back front with their on listening to their communication, that we are not that capable of arguing with these people. They have a strong Mercury but negative. And there are strong Mercury but positive. Weak Mercury, positive, no effect. However the positive they may be, but they are not able to communicate well. The same is the weak and negative. To make the planet Mercury happy, we need to slow down. Because Mercury is a very quick planet, very quick in taking decision. So we need to bit slow down so that we can analyze it, we can plan it. When I say Mercury is the main hero and villain, because whatever the good things happening in this world is because of thought process and because of communication. But all these Hiroshima, Nagasaki, atom bomb, and all this negative thought process, and what they have been conveyed everywhere, good or bad, because of Mercury, not of any other planet. All other planets been used up. The next planet is Ketu. Ketu is the most mature planet, but not in a worldly sense. In the worldly sense, very stupid planet. Because this is a planet of nothingness, emptiness, hollowness, zeroness, the planet of enlightenment. Ketu is not interested in anything. Very dry attitude towards everything. dry attitude towards everything. Monks or sadhus or saints who are in deep sadhana, if you go and meet these people, they will simply look at you. You're not. If you offer anything, place it there. Ketu. Sometimes we are in the grip of Ketu energy. We are not interested in anything. Sometimes we are in the grip of Ketu energy, but only for a certain period of time. Those who do lot of sadhana, lot of meditation, their Ketu energy become more active. That is why I am not in favor of Vipassana meditations happening in all the centers throughout the world. There are many Vipassana centers, courses of Goenka and all that. Maybe you have visited. Have you ever attended? They practice Vipassana meditation for 7 hours, 8 hours a day. Sitting silently, watch your breath. Watch your body. It means your energy, which is moving outside, is now towards inside. You become more dry, neutral gear. You become more and more not interested in anything. But then you have to survive in this world, For that, energy is required. False smile is required. False smile to please your customer. But Ketu is also the smartest one. Smartest in the sense they have experienced. Okay. Enough.
Which planet is Ketu?
Ketu is a shadow planet. It is not visible in the sky. It has been developed by the sages. This is a shadow planet. Moon has two nodes. North node is Rahu. South node is Ketu.
South Node.
But it doesn't exist in a physical form. Its effect is visible. So it's a zeroness, hollowness. Sometimes we are sitting blank, nothing in our mind. We're simply sitting. We are not happy, we are not sad. We are in Ketu energy. You must have observed in your day-to-day life, every time we are in the grip of certain energies. Jupiter energy, let's gain knowledge. Let's read Gita, let's read what Jesus has said, all the Gospels, what Muhammad has said. We are into that Jupiterian energy. Let's sell something. Mercury. Let's gain money. Let's do something profitable. Mercury. Let's do hard work. Saturn. So we are moving on the basis of energies which are driving us. Venus. Entertainment, enjoyment, celebration, pleasure, and taste. Venus is a planet of pleasure, enjoyment, celebration. Let's freak out. Let's dance. Let's enjoy the music. Let's go and enjoy some good food. It's a pleasure-seeking planet. Whenever we are in the grip of that kind of mindset, that we want to celebrate. We want to enjoy a good tasty food. We want to wear good dresses. Let's go in the market and purchase good dresses. And we wear it when we enjoy it. That Venus is the, Venus is like an angel. Venus is the brightness of our life, is the bright aura of our life. Venus is the glow of our life. You come across few people, they may not be, they may not have fair complexion, sharp features, short height, but they look very glowing because of Venus energy. We feel like we are attracted towards them like a magnet. In day-to-day life, we come across these kind of people. Let's go and hug that fellow because of Venus energy. Venus is a kind of pull. So to make Venus is very important to live and enjoy life. Without Venus, we will not able to enjoy life. And without enjoyment, life is full of boring things. Bore. Even if we are reading scriptures, as per the Jupiter energy, if we are not enjoying scriptures, we will not continue. If we are selling certain things, if we are not enjoying that in business, we will not continue. If you are not enjoying hard work, Venus is the most important planet. Venus is the magnetic force of our life, which motivate us to live happily, to live enjoyably. And now, how to make this, the planet of beauty, happy? Only one thing. Always seek enjoyment. Always be in the celebrating mood. Always be in a celebrating mood. Do not compromise with the ugly things. You come across many ugly things in various fields, do not compromise. Venus is always in favor of beauty. We come across various things. For example, if we went to a restaurant and on the basis of order, if the order is not tasty, we compromise. Let's finish off. Let's eat. Then you're not making planet Venus happy. Venus is in favor of taste. It's not tasty. Make it again. There are challenges. When we, again, the live example, when me and my spouse, visit a restaurant, I sometimes compromise. Yes, she never compromised. Because of a strong Venus. She never compromises. Bhaiya, different one. I don't like it. So Venus is always in our favor. Venus is always in our favor because she is in favor of beauty, celebration, enjoyment. That is the way you can make planet favorable and happy. The last planet we will do today, the Sun. Sun is the king. That kingly attitude. That royalness of our life. Previously, celebration. One who is in favor of celebration will celebrate with anybody. They will not see, oh, he's or she's made ugly looking. Venus is in ready of celebrating everybody. You know, Jupiter will have a look. Oh, positive people, not negative people. Higher philosophy, higher religion. But Venus is in favor of celebration. I will celebrate, whatever the circumstances may be. Sun, royalness, king. His attitude is like a king. The consistency of our life, the attitude of our life is Sun. The authoritative attribute of our life is Sun. Sun, the king. King will not pinpoint each and everything. This is bad, this is no. He keep on observing. He or she keep on observing. And then when it is required, with full energy, with full force, thrusting energy, you will say, don't do this. Only one. The way he behave is a very kingly attitude. You might come across few people that over the phone you are in arguments or you're saying something bad, and the moment they are physically in front of us, the moment somebody is physically in front of us, we are slight jerk is there. We will not behave the way we have been behaving over the phone. Because of his physical energy is dominated by sun energy, planet sun. You will find a dominance in the personality of a person whose sun energy is strong. The consistency of our life. For example, anybody who has chosen one profession, almost throughout life, they will stick to that profession. Consistency is because of sun energy. There are few people who has one profession and in 2-3 days change the profession. And another 2-3 days change the profession. So it means the energy of sun is not very positive in their horoscope. Or there are few people who find that others are taking him or her for granted. They do not create a lasting impression on other personalities. So the weak sun. We come across few people, they say, "Yeah, I have everything, but I do not create a lasting impression on other people." And there are few people, they do not have anything. They may be uneducated, without any talent, nothing, not even beautiful, but they have a very lasting impression on others. The moment they sit, they stand, they come in the group, we feel as if some royalness has entered. The royal aura has entered the arena because of sun energy. So, to pacify the planet Sun, because that is very important, the Sun in our horoscope should be very positive. Only then consistency will happen, and we would able to achieve success. To achieve success, we need to be consistent, regular. And you yourself have experienced, sometimes you are in the grip of sun energy. Kind of attitude. You move like a sun, king. Behave like they are talking rubbish, or listening with yourself. You're not criticizing other people every now and then. The way king behave. They take action. King make rules. They take action. Kill that fellow. That's all. So we will end the session, today's session here only. Okay. So we will do from tomorrow. Tomorrow's session will start with moon. Okay. Anybody has any question till what we have done today? You may ask.
I would like to know the real names for the planets.
Sorry?
The Hindu names or the names.
Oh, yes. That's a good question. Jupiter, Brihaspati.
Right, that's
Yes, please. I will write it down.
yeah.
Please. Brihaspati. I will spell Saturn, Shani, Shani. Shani in Sanskrit or Hindi. Shani. Shani. Okay. Mercury, Budh, Budh. Budh. Ketu is Ketu only.
Yeah.
Venus is Shukra, Shukra. Yeah. Sun is Surya. Yeah. I will name all the planets. Moon is Chandra. 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 The next one is Mars. That is Mangal. 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 And again, Rahu is Rahu. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 planets.
astrology tradition does not deal with Uranus, Neptune.
They are very far away. Everything has influence on our body and our life, but their effect is very negligible. So we are not discussing on that. So, whatever is there in the universe, we have influence of that. But yesterday I was giving an example. There are a few ants. Even that ant is influencing a body. But if a dog or cat comes, it has more influence. So we are not talking about ants. It does have influence. Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, but these are prominently. Okay. Any other doubt? Any other question you have? Please ask.
I guess you will get more deeply into
Yes,
what is
yes.
negative and positive.
Yes,
strong and
definitely.
weak
Yes,
position.
yes. Yes, I will definitely. All the 12 houses, any doubt?
Yeah, actually, just one thing. Actually. Talking about the fifth house, for example, relationship, friendships,
Yes.
creativity, children. So let's say friendships is good, but all this creativity, children giving birth to children, stock market is very bad. So in the same house, different aspects, some are good, some are bad. It's
No,
possible.
we are not able to interpret. Fifth house, if fifth house is very good, if it's strong, it has to be strong in all aspects. We may not able to interpret it. If fifth house is very strong, it means our friends are very profitable for us. Or we are very profitable to us, and we have many strong foundation with our friends, not a single friend, many friends, strong foundation. And if we make many friends, someday one friend we change, then different friend. So it reflects in all the aspects.
And the creative part, the children part, this is all different. Stock market is different. So it's all different things in one house.
Yes.
They don't all do they can't all be good, no? I don't feel it. I don't understand. The connection between the friends and the stock market and the creativity and the children, it's all different.
Yes, all different things. But it is connected to the fifth house.
Yeah.
So if your fifth house is not strong, all the things would be suffering.
But because I was having the same question coming up, like I can speak for myself or people I know well. Like my ex-husband had a very weak voice, but he was always good in gaming and also really keeping his money. So there are some fields of the houses where people are really strong and other fields of the same house can be weak.
Yeah.
See,
How does that
when you say that weak voice or a shrill voice,
real and not strong, like not audible?
then there could be a relation to a Mercury planet.
So he
When-
may have a strong second house, but let's say a poorly.
Mercury is not placed good because Mercury is the planet of communication. Mercury is the planet of communication. If the second house is not good, is good, strong in saving and all that.
Yeah.
And there are many aspects. For example, saving means there could be inconsistency. Sometimes good saving, sometimes bad, sometimes dip in saving. So there could be that.
Not with him, but it can be.
Yes. And when we go deep in individual horoscope, then you would be able to understand more. Because Mercury is the planet of communication. Even if the second house is strong and his Mercury is very weak,
So that
then
explains.
yes, then he is not able to communicate well because of Mercury is the lord of communication. So the other things to be analyzed.
Yeah. So that but that explains our.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I would be explaining the planets, I would be explaining the zodiac signs. And And also I would be explaining when I would be putting planets in the houses, and there are certain elements. When I will be going deep, your concept would be more clear, right?
We continue.
Yes.
Sure.
You keep your that points, make a note of it. So we'll discuss again. Okay. Second house, fifth house. We will be going deep into that. We'll be operating. Okay. So let's finish the session.